Hey guys, what's up? It's Rookie Revolution back with another video. And today we will be ranking not a top 10, not a top 5, but a ranking of every single mercenary elimination in challenge history. This is a list of all 17 mercenary elimination rounds ranked, and I'm going to start off by saying I am not counting Bananas and Melissa in the Vendettas final, as it wasn't an elimination round or really have any effect on anything.
You guys didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?
Don't need to pinch yourself, guys. It's your worst nightmare. Because I'm gonna flip over a card. You then have to guess if the following card is gonna be higher or lower. In your
If you don't know what a mercenary is, it's when they bring in some of the best challenge alumni not competing on the season to take you on an elimination. Most of the time, it's just to take you out, but more recently, it's been used to take your spot in the game. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take the money and run, Teach.
Coming in last at number 17, we have CORY and DEVIN versus DEVIN and JOZEA. I've actually touched on this elimination before, as it was blatantly rigged for CORY and DEVIN to get into the game. The elimination was boring to watch and it was quite unfair. I was so upset to see DEVIN leave, and really honestly, with every elimination on this list, I found this the least entertaining to watch. Especially for a second time in a row right after Amanda and Zach. And did I mention they took DEVIN out? Next, we have Jordan versus Shane, and let's be real, Shane was taking this as more of a joke. He didn't think he could win, so he didn't really try, which was disappointing. I think if Shane really put his all into this elimination, he could have put up a better fight. Instead, he got walked on by his celebrity crush, Jordan.
Shane, you're going to be playing Jordan.
Lucky me.
He's pretty good.
And sexy. I'm going against a celebrity crush.
The lack of effort by Shane and the lack of work Jordan had to do to win is what made this number 16 on my list. Number 15 is going to be Tina versus TORI, and I will say the reason why it's so low. It was recently brought to my attention that Tina threw this elimination to TORI as an early wedding gift, which is just so unfair.
I threw that. I pretty much was like helping her push me. Consider this my wedding present.
I completely believe this, and honestly, if you rewatch this, Tori's performance wasn't as great as Teresa's knowing the circumstances. I don't like when challengers throw anything, and this is a perfect example of it. This is why it's so low on my list. Number 14 will be CORY and DEVIN versus Amanda and Zach, and the only reason I am putting this above DEVIN and JOZEA is because of the buildup of it all. Amanda and Zach won the daily and were safe, but since they couldn't agree on a team to send in, Zach volunteered them.
We're gonna go with Ashley and Hunter, Tej.
No, we're not doing that. Tony and Bananas.
We're going in. I said Ashley and Hunter. If it's not Ashley and Hunter, then it's gonna be us.
It was actually insane watching all of that play out, and it was probably the most entertaining moment of the whole season. But besides that, the elimination game was boring, and again, it was very clearly rigged. The story building up to it is what made it as high as 14. Next is Frank vs. Brad, and this elimination was exciting for the fact that we hadn't seen Frank in quite some time. And when he appeared as a mercenary, I was excited and thought he was going to be great, but when he went up against Brad, he got completely worked. The Frank we all know is a gritty and intense competitor, and it seemed like he put up no fight in this elimination. It was nice to see him back, but it wasn't a great performance or even nail-biting. 12 is going to be LAUREL versus BRITNI, and we all knew what the outcome of this elimination was going to be. Even TJ knew right away.
Brittany, I'm sorry.
I'm throwing that out there.
BRITNI actually put up a better fight than I expected, but she still got annihilated by LAUREL in this elimination. I actually enjoyed watching this one, but since all of the remaining ones are just better, it has to be this low. Next at number 11, we have Tina versus Teresa, and this was the better one out of the Tina eliminations, as Tina didn't throw this one. Teresa, in my opinion, really showed the competitor she is with this elimination. She showed grit and determination, and she just really wanted back into the house. I'm just upset Tina gave her a harder time than she did with TORI, as Teresa put up a really good and memorable performance that should be remembered and noted. Here we get to the good stuff with the top 10. At number 10, we have Ashley versus Cam, and there's nothing wrong with this elimination at all. It was a solid and even battle. It really brought out good performances by Ashley and Cam, and this is also an instance where the strategy played into it. Cam simply had a better strategy strategy in this elimination by thrusting to rebel. As weird as that sounds, that's really what was able to get her ahead and get the win. Also, at the time, this was Cam's second win against a Mercenary, so props to her. And Ashley's laugh in this elimination was also very iconic. At number 9, we have Zach vs Mike, and I enjoyed this battle on elimination, but Mike clearly did not give this his all as he was competing against Cara Maria, who his bloodline Abram was dating at the time.
Cara Maria is like family, and that's a really hard thing to be faced up against.
But even then, Mike displayed heart, and as he probably didn't have any chance in this certain elimination against Zach, he had an admirable performance. Not really much to say on this elimination, but I really enjoyed Mike on the show and would just love to see him make a return someday in the future. Number 8 is ANEESA vs Veronica, and even though this elimination ended abruptly as Veronica broke her finger, I still love it. Two OGs showing they still had what it took on a headbanger elimination, and having actual beef with each other is what made this battle memorable. The battle was actually pretty even, and I don't know who would have ended up winning, but it's just a shame Veronica had to forfeit as the fight she was putting up was great. Next up is CT vs Jamie, and I first want to say going up against Prime CT is a scary thing to do, and not many would walk out alive doing it. But Jamie put up a good fight against him. Jamie is a strong guy, but even then, CT pretty much ripped the bar out of his hands with ease. Jamie pretty much turned into a hold-on endurance game since he even said he could never beat CT.
I'm starting to realize I'm not going to win this fight of getting the pole, so I just decided just to sit on the pole, hold on for dear life, see how long I could hold.
It was very nice seeing CT back, and his performance in this elimination showed he was still top tier physically.
Jesus Christ, this kid's strong.
Number 6 is again CT, but this time it's him versus Tyler. What not many fans know, and what they didn't show, was that this elimination went on for 40 minutes.
Didn't show on the show. I went against the dude for 40 minutes.
But he still beat you.
No, I gave up.
They edited it down to look like it was 20 seconds, but it was really a long battle, and people don't give Tyler enough credit for being able to hold his own against CT and make it pretty much a stalemate. Tyler vs CT is often forgotten because of Banana's backpack, and yes, that's obviously a more iconic elimination, but Tyler vs CT should still be known as a great match. The editing, I think, is what hurt this one. 5 will be TORI versus Cam, and this is one of those eliminations where both parties wanted to prove themselves. TORI got back from a good rookie season and wanted to prove it wasn't a fluke, and Cam just wanted to prove that no one could ever touch her in a physical elimination. Are You the One has often been overlooked on the challenge, but battles like these show that they are worthy competitors. A fist fight almost broke out in this elimination due to it being so intense. It really was a great matchup, and in my opinion, nail-biting. At number 4, we have Ashley and Hunter versus Angela and Faith. This elimination game was just awesome, having to punch your way through very hard walls and crawl through them while being very dangerous was very entertaining. This was the first instance of Mercenaries being able to join the game if winning the elimination, so that put up the pressure for Ashley and Hunter. Ashley started literally breaking the wall by using her head. She had no stop in her.
Ashley wants it enough to start knocking her head against the wall. This is nuts.
Ashley and Faith were quite honestly ahead and killing it until Faith broke her nail, which is what cost them the game. The game and the fight all the competitors had makes this among one of my favorite Mercenary eliminations. Number 3, it's going to be Nelson vs Darrell, and this was the first ever draw in challenge history. Not one of them could reach their bell, and they both were just stuck there for an hour at the same position. Insane to watch, but entertaining nonetheless. Watching them just push but not move looked painful, especially when Darrell made that huge pull and didn't move at all. Nelson made very funny grunts as Devin pointed out, and it looked like by the end Nelson actually pulled a blood vessel, as you can see in his eye, which I don't think anyone's actually ever mentioned.
Nelson kind of sounds like this.
Something that I don't like is how they made it a tie when they didn't do that for Joss and Derek, even though it was just as long and evenly matched. Numbers 1 and 2 are hard to rank cause I feel no matter which one I choose, no one will really be happy since they are both just so iconic, and that's why they're pretty much a dead tie. Actually, I can't make it a tie, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to give my rankings, but just know they are so even, and whichever one I don't put as number 1, I really do understand everyone's points of views. Number 2, I have to put Joss and Derek. The battle between these two was off the charts, from Joss getting Derek in the coin flip and saying he would destroy him.
He's half my size. I'm pretty sure I can battle this guy.
I don't know who any of these people are. Eric, he looks like a little squirrel. I'm gonna put this guy through his paces.
To having to repeatedly reset the elimination was super intense to watch. Joss kept shaking and tripping and body slamming Derek just to get him off the 8, but it wouldn't work. Derek just wouldn't let go, and that is something to be said about Derek's grip strength. With some of those slams, most guys would have let go 5 minutes in, but it was over an hour-long battle filled with blood and tears, and did I mention blood? It was a complete stalemate until Joss had a lapse of judgment and just let go, giving Derek the win and showing everyone that heart is all that matters in these games.
It's just round after round after round. These guys are absolutely beating out of each other. It's like a street fight.
Okay, we all knew clicking on this video that number 1 would be CT vs Bananas in the Bananas backpack. There has never really been a more iconic moment in challenge history. There has never been a moment that has been talked about for so long and is still referenced regularly to this day. Watching CT do his Godzilla walk with a complete grown man / banana on his back was really just unbelievable to watch, and Bananas not being able to do anything but swing his arms was hilarious. CT just stood up and walked him to the barrel where he slammed a banana in 19 seconds. Just amazing TV and one of the best moments in challenge history for sure. With the holidays, this was a doozy of a video to edit, and I'm sorry for the delay. Also, I'm sorry as I feel this video isn't my best work, but I know next week we will be completely back on track. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and take care.